Hey everybody, this is Iya Patsy, and I wanted to share something, or at least get this down on video right now. For some reason, I had a very trying day today, and I fell asleep and I woke up and I thought it was tomorrow already, and it's still today, so it's still New Year's Eve, and I woke up and I saw one of the viewers had written a very, very extensive letter, and she sounded, very desperate. And I wanted to see if I could try to, do something for her this evening and get it right out. And as she gave me her information, I saw that she was a Cancer, and so was her husband, and that whatever their problems were. So I was looking into some things, and I have a book that I've spoken about before, and it's called Linda Goodman's Love Signs. And I was just led to take a look at it. I like, it gives me a little bit of insight sometimes on people, because if I haven't had relationships with those type of people myself, it's kind of, I find it helpful to have that kind of a loving way to look at a person, rather, not just what chaos is going on in their lives or according to their partner. So I try to get a little bit of perspective on them, so that when I respond, I'm doing it from a place of love for both of them. So sometimes that's how I'm led to pick up this book. And it was very appropriate. I'm reading it and I'm like, because of course, as usual, some things in it apply to relationships that I've experienced myself. And I'm like, oh yeah, that was, yeah. It kind of did go like that. Yeah, we kind of did talk to each other like that. Yeah, we kind of did act like that. And that was interesting. But then I got to this part, and I said, wait a minute. Why am I reading? Why am I getting this right now? Now, Sun Signs by Linda Goodman was written in 1978. It was published in 1978 by Harper and Row, and it was published in paperback by Fawcett Columbine Books in 1980. Okay? So in 1978, even before that, because I think I read in here that it took them 6 to 8 years to write this book. So let's say this is 1970. This is what she wrote. This tenacious rock-like crab is not the most powerful American leader to place his confidence in the wisdom of the planets. Among a number of others, presidents Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and Franklin Delano Roosevelt did so too. And in fact, the majority of founding fathers of this nation and the signers of the Declaration of Independence, as well as our Constitution, were themselves either astrologers or serious students of astrology. Wait, let me make sure that this microphone is up, because I don't want to do this and y'all can't hear it or any of that nonsense. And I don't know, my mouse isn't working here because my cat, midnight last night, decided she wanted to use my table as a trampoline, and my battery and my mouse It's not LinkedIn, I guess. All right. Okay. Sorry, folks. I don't know what happened, but I think I've got the sound up high enough now, hopefully. So now, Presidents Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and FDR did so, and in fact, the majority of founding fathers of this nation and the signers of the Declaration of Independence, as well as our Constitution, were themselves either astrologers or serious students of astrology. Each one, including Ben Franklin himself, and if I may be forgiven for letting a Cancerian-type secret out of the bag, because the new age of Aquarius demands truth at this 11th hour of our planet's survival. Masonry is based on astrology, as all high-degree Masons are aware. Most of our founding fathers were Masons or Rosicrucians, who saw to it that the birth chart of our country was chosen with meticulous attention to planetary positions. Do you believe it's time astrology's detractors should halt their attacks against this ancient art and science? Surely it's time that certain men who are otherwise intelligent should cease their futile yet repeated attempts to assassinate this guide to self-knowledge, which our co-creators, in their infinite wisdom, bestowed upon us for both our temporal and our spiritual enlightenment, and which so clearly prove the synchronicity of the universe. The reason why many moon-ruled crabs feel rather snugly at home in this country is because the United States of America is perhaps the most typical Cancerian sun sign of all, born on the 4th of July. Confused and sidetracked repeatedly by the split personality, schizophrenic urges of its Gemini ascendant, preaching freedom while having denied blacks, women, and the American Indians, Native Americans, true equality, and so forth. That's the Gemini aspect of Cancer. And we know July 4th, being early in the Cancerian chart, you have aspects of Gemini that are going to bleed over into that, right? 2 weeks before you, 2 weeks, the sign 2 weeks behind you, kind of mixes in. So that's why there's that duality. And we have two main parties. Remember that, always. But more than that, it's the duality of the message. You know, what's good for one is not always good for the other. And that it's all right. Still, Uncle Sam is basically a crab, his Gemini rising sign notwithstanding. The lunar qualities subconsciously embedded in all who live under the stars and stripes, whatever their personal sun signs may be. For everyone there lives 3 karmas throughout any given incarnation. So, individual racial and national karmas usually influence the feelings and actions. And when 2 crabs double up in association within an also Cancerian country, the 1-to-1 vibration increases in intensity. And Donald Trump is a Gemini, July 16th. And again, his ascendant, or rather, in his sun sign then, just as And a Cancer's would be Gemini. His would be Gemini. As a Cancer, he'd have Cancer, and he'd also have Taurus. Got it? Two weeks ahead of your sign and 2 weeks afterwards. You're going to have tendencies like that. And that's what's the one-to-one intensity. He's in that also. That's how his numbers are mixing up on this. Three karmas throughout any given incarnation. I guess, did somebody research what the other two were? Are we at number 1? Are we at number 2? Or are we at number 3? Karma. Is there a single citizen in the... That was mine. Oh. Quote. Is there a single citizen in the USA, each crab especially, who doesn't feel an inexplicable heart tug of nostalgic sentiment and secret, if grudging admiration, at the sound of the brisk, clipped accent of dear old Mother England, who wasn't kinfolk proud of the coverage of every Britisher, from pub to Churchill, during the World War II blitz bombing of London? It is not our CIA. Is not our CIA, FBI, NASA, and, evidently judging from the Watergate affair, also, periodically, our government, unnecessarily secretive? Were we not first to land a man on the moon herself, our very own sun sign ruler? Are we not as a nation continually feeling guilty twinges over our inability to feed the world's hungry? And did we not initiate the practice of sending care packages to the needy? Cancer cares. Like any two Cancerian doubled up, we do not become unexpectedly... like any two Cancerians doubled up, do we not become unexpectedly crab shell tough in a crisis? So don't we get tough? We put on the whole armor of God, don't we? We get tough when there's a crisis. And say, why don't those countries we try to help by intervening in their private affairs like us more? Why aren't they more grateful? Does anyone truly love us? Sob, sob, like a Cancer. Who would dispute America's use of her wealth to buy affection against those who might hurt her and her children? Is not the largest defense budget and nuclear stockpile in the world an aspect of undue Cancerian caution? And heavens to Betsy Ross, goodness knows we've always fought for and clung to our freedoms tenaciously. Goodness knows we've always fought for and clung to our freedoms tenaciously. Now, if we could only get over our Cancerian money hang-up, let go and learn to really share, because we get love, because we must give love, we might stop being so crabby and snapping at each other, like any two crabs in any sort of association. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Things are so much better back in the good old days, when we had woofleberry jelly on our toast, sobbing like a Cancerian, swinging on the apple tree in the grassy green backyard, swimming in the unpolluted rivers and streams, all snug and safe and security blanketed in our Constitution, the protections of our Constitution, when our leaders had to be voted into office by the people's choice and by simple, honest boys like Abe Lincoln, who could aspire to become president without the backing of million-dollar interests of modern-day powerful conglomerates. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo. Way back when dear old Patrick Henry said, "Give me liberty or give me death." Say, you know what? When you really stop to think about it, a little Cancerian caution now and then might not be such a bad thing after all. Maybe these good old days are worth clinging to tenaciously. Sometimes the crab's lunar fears and nightmares are not imaginary, but very real. I was led to read that. Now, it's something to consider. It is something to consider. And this is how Cancer is vibrating. And we are in a Cancer country. And this is the Cancer moon. And the person who's serving as the President of the United States is a Cancer. Then that means that we have to deal with it like we deal with cancers. I said we resist. Anyway, I'm going to finish doing the reading. But maybe something that we can do really through our astrology or through what we're doing here. All the readers that read online are trying to share what they know, their knowledge, whatever their forms of sharing are. There's a reason for this, because there's a reason that we need to get ourselves in order at this time. Something's brewing. A lot of karmic relationships are ending, as far as romantically, you know. There's a lot of challenges to our situations. And a lot of us who are going through these current relations are dealing with people who have Cancer somewhere in their charts. You have to figure that out for yourself. All you got to do is go to one of these free astrological things, and they'll tell you where everything is. And all you need to do is look for the word Cancer in the lineup, and then you are one of the victims. You are one of those of us who are dealing with these people. And then check your own, because you know what? You may have Cancer in yours too, and that may just be the explanation for it all. If there is someone else involved in your three-way relationship, if that's what you're pondering, check theirs. You may all have Cancer going on in your alliance. This says it's up to you. You may all have Cancer going on in your line. So that could be a Cancer, or that just may confuse things so much more, actually, and make it so much harder for you. I just came across, it's not this, it says if you believe. This is, it's up to you. I want to get that. That's what just fell out when I was just shuffling them. So let's see what that says. Oh, so pretty. It's up to you. These are the Angel Answer cards by Doreen Virtue and Radleigh Valentine. Radleigh Valentine. So those are the same people that make. There's another deck I have by she and Radleigh Valentine. Maybe it's the Romance Angel Oracle card. No, those are only by her. What is it? Oh, the Archangel Power cards. Okay. The end results of the situation you're asked about is entirely in your hands. You can affect the outcome by taking a proactive approach to solving any challenges. Stand in your own power and have confidence that you have what it takes to bring about a happy ending. Okay, so in both circumstances, it's up to us to bring this to a happy ending. And those of us who are working in this genre, those of us who are aware, and those of you who are paying attention to these messages. Heed the messages that you're hearing, you know, based on how a thing resonates with you, and with love, always with love. See how you can adjust yourself, your lifestyle, to the messages that you're getting. What can you do to heed the message? It's up to you. Again, we've always talked about, at least I have, and many of the reasons that I've watched, this is all on you. This is your free will. Nobody's going to make you do anything. But this is what you signed up for. This is what you signed up for. So, let me get this. I'll make this all the same, you know, and this is on me with you. But, let's see what we get, okay? So, the answer to this for you, darling, is it's up to you in regards to this relationship that you have, okay? I had started to write something for you specifically, and so I'm going to share that with you now, since I decided to go through like this. Give me a second, sweetie. Okay, so it's up to you. Let me start this reading for you. Okay, so you're June 25th. So that is right around the cusp of Gemini and Cancer. And he is in the middle of Cancer. But he's Cancer. And so are you. So the both of you tend to have a little duality, you probably more. And that's why you can't get your feelings, you go back and forth with your feelings more than he does. And, you know, I've experienced many scenarios in my life, and I've often wondered why I had to have that horrible, horrible thing happen to me, or why did I need that experience to be part of my life. And there are things that I didn't experience myself, but I've been very close witness to, friends of mine, who got into trouble with the law in different ways. And I've seen that from both sides of that system. And I often wondered, why did I need this experience to be part of my life? There's some things that I should have never been exposed to, I felt. That it just, like, affected my soul in a way that was like a little unreasonable, I guess, for most people, but it was just like offensive to me, you know, certain types of violence and just things. It was weird. It was just like my sensibilities were, I don't know, it just, I remember when I went to see this movie, Make Money or Die Trying, something with you know, it's a birthday, we're going to party, like, come on, you know I'm talking about that guy. Okay, Live Rich or Die Trying. That was the name of the movie. I was in Vegas visiting, and my first time, and we were having a great time. And I went to see the movie because it was in the hotel where we were staying. This place called Orleans. Oh my God, everything is in there. You don't have to go down to old Las Vegas or even the Strip because it's self-contained. They have a theater, a massage, bowling alley, food, drinks, shopping, liquor store, everything at the time. And then you can take a bus from there back to downtown Las Vegas, or yeah, from downtown Las Vegas, and you get to walk the Strip and everything. It's really nice. I loved it, and I wanted to be. Oh, I just love Las Vegas. I wanted to retire to Las Vegas because you can walk around with a drink in your hand and just enjoy the day, a beautiful sunny day, and check out the people and sights. And it's a wonderful thing. That's a vacation. But you know, MS is not happy with the heat all of the time, and I haven't been out there since I've been diagnosed. And I was able, thank you God, to be able to experience Panama, Barbados, and Hawaii, and I was able to navigate that. So maybe I can navigate Las Vegas. Who knows? But I know I couldn't do it on a permanent basis. I don't think so. But anyway, back to you. G Unit. What is his name? I see him right in front of me. Anyway. When I saw that movie, when I came out of it, I was like, and I said it to my friends, I never needed to experience that in my soul. My soul did not need that movie. I will never watch it on a rerun or anything. My soul does not need to be exposed to that ever again. Thank you. Just like that, because it just was like, oh, but maybe the reason I had that experience is to tell you about it. I don't know. I know why. I know why. As I thought of it this evening, why I had that experience. Because at one point I did work in a correctional facility with adolescent males. And learned a lot, saw a lot. And I guess that's why I have the way I talk on the videos, maybe that is the kind of the underlying thing. And sometimes when I'm doing readings, it seems to kind of, to me, I kind of, you know, to kind of focus on the male perspective of some of these situations. And I think that's good. They deserve that. They deserve to be thought about in these, because they're people. They're emotional human beings, just like everybody else is. Men, I'm saying in general, and they do things based on their emotions, just like we do. There are maybe negative emotions. They may be not well thought out emotions. They may be selfish emotions, but they are emotional human beings just like we are nonetheless. So they just deal with their emotions sometimes differently than we do. And this can not only be in love relationships, this is our sons, our co-workers. Remember, hurt people hurt people. And there's a lot of hurt out there on both sides of this fence. Let me keep going. Now, some things that I should have never been exposed to. And tonight I realize exactly how important even the funny things are, as well as the painful ones. So I thank you for this opportunity, sis, to refresh my mind of these memories. And which additionally means that my MS hasn't stolen my memories. And I'm going to believe that it won't, because the divine has use of me through sharing my memories as well as the visions. Now, maybe once I've shared enough memories, then, it'll go another way. Or maybe that's why it needs to be taped, so that when I'm not able to do this, the word will still be there for those who need it at any time. So I thank the divine for that opportunity. It's not only to help me, but to help other women. Other people who need to know that they can wake up on the other side of whatever this pain is. And you don't have to wake up on the other side with resentment or hate, but empathy and a wholeness of heart for yourself. Pride in what you have learned, what you have persevered through. Even the lessons that come from our perceived failures. Because at the time we think that we failed, but later on, like I said, hindsight is 20/20. On the other side, you'll know that there was a lesson even in those failures. We have a generation or two of broken people who raise broken children through no fault of their own, because the divine wanted to give these spiritual beings a chance to work on those challenges on their overall ascension path. So know that no matter your birth conditions, your experience here is a part of the divine plan, and that you are a spiritual being having a human experience. So stop freaking out. Now, in your situation, what I got is that you are dealing with the narcissistic personality. And he might be a little bit of a sociopath. But, in other words, he's got little criminal tendencies in him. And I'm thinking that because this is what brought this up tonight in me. And I don't think about that. I don't think about things that happen in that job too much. I try not to, and I try to keep, I just needed to move that in close, I'm sorry. I try to keep I just try to, I don't I don't want to bring that into this set at all. It's just it's an experience that I needed to have, and I had it. And if it gives me some wisdom and some help when I'm doing my readings, and I'm able to have some empathy for all the parties involved, and fine, that's great. But I didn't want to like present that as part of, you know, anything. But it's part of the story, a large part of the story. So I guess tonight, that's what the divine wanted to tell me. So again, I want to thank you, because I had, like I said, I had no intention of doing anything tonight. So there was a message that I needed to get, and this has just been one of those weeks. So they make sure that they let you know what they want you to know when they want you to know it, or reinforcing something. Okay. So this, because you're both Cancers, you balance perfectly with one another, and so because of the way you are, you're a perfect mark for him. Because he's vibing that kind of a. It's not the Cancer in him that's making him a criminal. No, it's just his experience that he's having that got him here. But the way he handles it, and the way that you handle it, is because of that Cancer in his chart and in yours. You both are looking for emotional security. You both fear poverty. You may both come from poverty backgrounds, and you're determined not to let that happen. Okay, but crabs, what do? We crawl our way to the top, and there's somebody there hanging on to draw you back in. And you all have been taking turns doing this. And right now, this is the turn that he's taking. He's grabbing you back, because he knows that you want to get out of this situation. But because of this underlying money element of whatever is going on with the two of you, you're hesitating to do what you need to do to get out. And he's going to keep doing what he's doing until he can't. Until he has to be put in a shell. That's where he'll feel comfortable, when he gets back in his shell. Right now, he's dashing around at that soft shell crab season, I guess. You know? I don't know where that just came from, but it just was a vision in my head. And that's what it is. He's doing his soft shell thing right now. But he needs shell. He needs a shell. And if he doesn't start to act like he got some sense, he's going to be taken to a shell. Now, if that's the life that you want, you can keep that up. But you're not doing yourself a favor. You're not doing he's not doing himself any favors, and you're not doing yourself any favors by this continuous adolescent type behavior. Now, at that point, that's when I said, you know what, let me just see. Let me get the book out so that I could see what it is. You know, like, they could be a great match. And it seems that you are, if you're into codependency, it is great. That's what I've got from what I had read about the cancer thing. It's like you all like to have this sob drama. You know, you want to better each other. You know. Oh, there was something But it was like, I remember this, it was either a movie or a joke or something years ago about people trying to, like, oh, woe is me, woe is me, each other. Like, you don't, I've had it so hard. We walk barefooted to school across the railroad tracks, and the next person says, school? We never even went to school. My mother taught us how to read on a chalkboard, and we only had chalk and spit. We didn't even have an eraser. It's like, oh, woe is me. You're trying to top each other, and that's part of what it is too. You're both looking for someone to love you no matter what. And it's just a matter of who's gonna hold out the longest. It's like this tug of war, you're playing with each other. Who's gonna hold out the longest? You know that you should not. You're putting yourself in jeopardy, and your safety and your security are in jeopardy. And so my main advice to you, and I don't have a degree in sociology, psychology, any of that. This is just, you asked me a question and this is my opinion. Love yourself first came upside down just now. I didn't even lay out the cards yet. Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. You're not loving yourself first, baby. Because if you were, you wouldn't be in this nonsense. I've done this. I'm telling you. This I guess I'm better off sharing this than I am that other stuff. I can't even sit here and tell you I did that he's a cancer. No, not. It's not about cancer. It's about this type of behavior. He could have cancer in it. I didn't even think for just a second that I should figure it out. Anyway. I was with this person for like 5 years. And then, one day, he decided that it was a good idea to try crack. He tried it on Thursday. By Monday, he had quit his job. What? Deception. That's funny. Okay. This could be the one, but this was in the reverse. Okay. So I'm going to keep telling the story while I lay out these cards. And we'll work it out. So, handling family issues. At some point, we lost touch with each other. I come to find out that he ended up in jail. Okay. But at this time, my life was just the opposite. I ended up in jail too. But I was the opposite. But he was states away. states away, so I didn't have to worry about interacting with him again. Thank goodness. So, like I said, we were together for 5 years. We didn't have kids together, thank you, God. But it was love. It was one of those like crazy, like candle burning, you know, drunk phone calling and all of that kind of stuff, kind of love. One of the crazy, young, ridiculous, unenlightened shit that you do. Or that some people go through in this life. Crazy. And he was gorgeous. Oh, such a good looking man. Hazel eyes. And he wasn't too light skinned at all. He's from Mississippi, so he had a southern drawl, just like my daddy, right? Because we like to go with guys that remind us of our fathers, even if our fathers are crooks, or if our fathers wouldn't let this person shine their shoes. Something about this guy reminds you of your dad. Something about you reminds him of his father too. Spirit told me to say that. Something about you reminds you of his father too. Something he's trying to work out. Express your love. Okay. You got, yeah, sure. Why not? Tell him that you love him. Certainly. But let him know that you love yourself. And make a romantic gesture towards just that. Yourself. Secure yourself and secure your assets, sweetheart. Police told me that my husband, because at some point I did marry this man. My husband had the right to back up a U-Haul truck to my front door and empty out everything that I owned, even though my name was on the lease, and even though he did not live there, and even though we had only been married 5 days when he did this shit. When he set my house up to make it look like we had a robbery when it was really him stealing and pawning my shit so he could buy more crack. Police told me that he could do that because he was my husband. And whatever was mine was his. And the only way that he could be barred from coming anywhere near me was for me to get an order of protection. So I got to do that. I signed my name as Mrs. So-and-so for the first time on order of protection. And never since. So, I wasn't surprised to hear that after years he ended up in jail. We'd gotten divorced. That is a whole nother conversation, a whole nother thing. But suffice to say, he tried to contact me. I had moved. My job had moved. This is what, before, you know, when he became a crackhead, early in this adventure, when I decided that I was going to get an order of protection from court, after the police came and he was told not to come back, He tried. He made phone calls in the middle of the night in tears, trying to get me to meet him because he loved me. And I had changed my job, had moved my job, the company I worked for, the big bank that I worked for, moved facilities. I was not there. The building was empty when he went back to look for me. We were gone. And he had no idea where we had moved to. It wasn't hidden, but he just would not have thought that, you know, he wouldn't have thought that far into it. He would have just been like, shit. Past life relationship, but it came in the reverse. Anyway, I come to find out that he was in jail in another state years later. Okay. I even spoke to him on the telephone, and he wasn't too happy that I was doing my job either. So, oh well. He said that this was a robbery, a burglary that he did. They gave him a lot of time for that. He assured me that he didn't hurt the person. He said a woman was home when this happened, but he didn't hurt her. He just kind of held her hostage, I guess. And I asked him, did he rape her? He said no. I don't know if that's true or not, but I know that that's what he would need to say. At that time, even though I didn't know him anymore, he knew that would not have gone over well. So I got away from that conversation, believing that that was the case, that he robbed somebody's home and that person was there, but he didn't rape her. But the reason that he got as much time as he did is because he held her hostage at least. I just kept that in the back of my mind. I didn't think too much about it. Went on with my life. So one day, I'm in my room in my house that I've purchased by myself with no one's help. And I have another relationship that I'm in and outs of with this person, but it has nothing to do with that. I wake up and the first thing on my mind is go to the internet and Google his name. That's the first thing that Spirit said to me when I opened my eyes that day. So I said, really? Okay. So I got up and went over to the computer and did that. And I did that. And when I saw what came up, because he has a very uncommon name. You know, you wouldn't be a lot of people with this name. In my experience so far. There's not a lot of people with this name. And so when it came up, it came up. Like it was an article on a radio, a TV station in Ohio somewhere, some state. And I did like this, from the table, pulled away from the computer like that, and I backed up. And then I looked, and there was a story. Now, this is not the story the last time I had spoken to him. He got out of jail since then, and he had done this maybe 8 or 10 years later. So he had already finished for that crime. So this is something new. He had been good for all of this time, I guess. Or at least nothing as big as this. And there he was. They said that he had killed someone, a woman. He strangled her to death. It wasn't robbery. It was that they were doing drugs and they ran out, and he didn't believe her, I guess, when she told him that she didn't have any more. And that's the drug dealer telling the police this. Because he left. And he knew that my ex had been acting pretty crazy, pretty aggressive about wanting more. I didn't know this had happened. And I was able to read the news and the television report when her family was asking if anybody had any information about this. Because he killed her in her own apartment. And the neighbors said that he had been there. Because he was a regular. They were friends, whatever, I don't know. So, her father was asking for anybody with any information or for him to turn himself in. And he did. Because he's not stupid. Because he's not stupid. And he went to prison for that. Pleaded guilty. So therefore he was able to get less of a sentence than he may have received. And he's still there. Okay. When that came to my... When I read that and I watched that, I had to thank God. That was my first response. I cried immediately. But it was tears of thank you, God, for what you protected me from. That young woman could have been me. Who knows what he did before? I don't want to know. I don't want to know. They don't need to know. I know this. And I just began to realize how blessed I am. How blessed I am. That even something that hurt me so bad, to have to divorce someone, to give up on a dream of a love that I had for a man for all those years. Again. But to know that even that pain was for my benefit later. Was for my benefit at the time, I just wouldn't realize it till later. So sometimes we have to look at these bad times as opportunities to get out of toxic situations and give yourself some distance so that you can figure out what the lesson is. You don't have to stay to the end of the film. You don't have to stay to the end of the movie in this one, because you already know this is not good for you. You don't have to stay to the end of this film. You don't have to stay to the end of this film, darling. So, this is what the card said for you today. And let's see if we can get some more guidance for you. All right, the first card again was Love Yourself First, which was in the upside down, the reverse position. And that is saying that you have not been loving yourself first. There's some deception. There is some lying. There is some thievery going on around you. You do know about it. You do know about it. So it's not lies that you're not aware of. But I'm sure there's situations related to your Cancer's behavior that has caused you to have to lie at times, or to be the recipient on the other side of his lies, right? So deception in this relationship. The next card you had, this could be the one. You have already met the romantic partner you seek. This was in the reverse. So this man is not the one. Healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. As I said, you may have some daddy issues, but this also says that you need to heal this family issue by getting some help to get out. Okay? You can express your love. Go ahead and make a romantic gesture. You can tell him how much you love him, and tell him that you will always love him if you want to. But let him know that you ultimately are going to love yourself first. Go right ahead and tell him you love him. But at the same time, make sure you tell yourself that you love yourself. Express your love to yourself. Yeah, wedding. This involves a marriage, and yes, it does, unfortunately. Retreat. Now, this is either telling you to retreat, or it's telling you that this man is going to go to jail, because the card that is above it is deception. And that tells me that somebody might go to jail. Next card you got was past life relationships in the reverse. So, maybe you've done this before. Not in a past life, but maybe this ain't his first time going to jail. Or maybe this is not the first time you picked a relationship with someone like this, because this fell underneath. This could be the one in the reverse. So maybe it's saying that this is not your first time picking this kind of person either. Maybe this is the type of guy that you're attracted to. Or maybe you've been with him when he's gone through this type of behavior before. Or it could even be that you've done this to him at some point. I don't know that. I don't think that. Could be, but I didn't get that. So that could be for whoever else watches this. I don't think in your particular case that that's the situation. But I do think that you do have to back away from this. It's telling you to retreat. And I don't think that is in terms of going on a honeymoon with your husband. What was that? Excuse me, Dom. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. I was burning a white candle. I received wow. Okay, I received a I was burning a white candle just now. And it's been burning since I came downstairs and took a shower and started this reading. And it's at the very end, I guess it was at the end of the... And this broke. Listen, perfectly in half. Crystal candle holder I've had for years. It's still warm. It's still hot. And I just said that. When glass breaks, that means that your ego are trying to speak. That they are trying to get through. They're trying to give you a message. So, I'm telling you. And now the card that would have been spoken about next is let your friends help you. You haven't been asking your ancestors to help you. You have not been reaching out as you should. You need to light a white candle. You need to set up a bulbada in your home if that's what you can do. You need to find a sacred space. This card fell under healing family issues. You have got to ask for help. You've got to ask for help from your family, your friends, police, social workers, whatever it is that you need to do to get yourself away from this situation. Okay. And the next card you got was attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. But this was in the reverse also. Under express your love. I'm going to look that up because I don't know what that could mean in terms of this scenario. So we got here, it's up to you. And let's look up attraction. Alright, remember attraction was in the reverse. Attraction is the first card in this book. Like a good friend, the romance angels send you this card to tell you the truth. The best way to have more romance in your life is through attraction rather than strenuous effort. You are the most attractive when you're fully enjoying yourself in the present. Your joyful laughter, your self-expression, and your body language are beautiful. In contrast, any stress you experience as you strain to find romance pushes against the stream of life. Strain comes from a place of fear with an underlying worry. Maybe I won't receive this. That fear then attracts the very thing you worry about. It creates stress, wrinkles, body tension, a constricted voice, and other unattractive characteristics. So go smell a rose and fully enjoy its fragrant beauty. Allow yourself simple pleasures that lead to great joy. Affirm frequently that you are loved and lovable. Visualize a wonderful romantic relationship with a great partner. Take excellent care of yourself and follow your inner guidance. Via the law of attraction, you'll draw romantic love to you through your own attractive nature. Now, this says to me that you have been doing none of this. All right? You haven't been allowing yourself the simple pleasures of life. Okay? That you haven't been looking. You can't even imagine yourself in a relationship that is not full of this kind of drama. That's the Cancer in you. That you'll draw this type of madness towards you, even when you know better. Again, it's like trying to outdo one another. Who could hurt the most? At the same time, chasing a dollar. Get your priorities straight, darling. Get your household in order. Ask for divine order to be established in your life today, tonight, for the coming year, 2018. That's going to be your prayer. Get divine order established in your life, please. That's the prayer. Ask for divine order. Ask for divine order to be established. And get yourself out of this circle. This card says within the next few weeks. Within the next few weeks. These are the Angel Answer Oracles again by Doreen Virtue and Radleigh Valentine. Within the next few weeks. You got to get on this. Now this either means that within the next few weeks this situation is going to resolve itself, or within the next 3 weeks homeboy is going to end up in jail. And you will not be able to deal with any attractions when he's behind bars. Just to bring that a little more to home on that. I didn't even get a chance to do the numerology configurations. I did see that your relationship was a 4. I believe that's what I got. All right. Yeah. Because you said you'd gotten married in 2014. So this is going to be 2018. If it's 2017, then it's a 3. That would be 6. That's a relationship. But if it's 8, that makes it 7. Right? 2018 would make it 4. And then your 3 years, the 3 I got in here was that the difference in your age. And there's a 3-year difference in your age. So a 3 and a 4 is a 7. And 7 is completeness. That's divine. This is over, Mama. Let's move on, okay? So let's see what you need to do for yourself. You need to start getting yourself ready to get on your feet, or however way this works. I don't know what your financial situation is. Generally, I know that he's been, doing what he's done, but whatever it is, you have to get yourself out of the worry about how you're going to do it. Okay, so you're concerned about your parenting, right? And the spiritual partnership, because you went to church and you got married and you got a license, so that means that you got to stay with foolishness. I don't think so. I don't think that's what God wants for you. I don't think so. 2 and 7 is 9. 9 is the number of the divine. Right? 2 and 7 is 9. 9 is your Egun again. Your Egun speaking. This number is 63. Parenting. 6 and 3 is a 9. Your Egun speaking. My crystal broke. That's a sign of the Egun speaking. Number 7, it's the end. It's completed. Your lesson has been completed, ma'am. You can move on within the next few weeks. Let it go. I'm going to read this for you so that we can see what that means about parenting and spiritual partnership. See what that if that holds any information for us. I really got to get used to this card. Oh wow, angel. Let's do it within a few weeks. No. I want to leave that to the last few weeks. Numerology. See, too much books. Parenting. That's okay. I love it. Excuse me. This card indicates that you are that you have a natural gift for parenting and working with children. Perhaps you have a child or children of your own, or maybe there's children within your extended family or circle of friends. Maybe you played a parental role within your relationships with others who tend to behave like children. Whatever the case may be, your ability to teach, nurture, and guide the next generation raises the vibration of the world. Every ounce of time, attention, love, and support you invest in a child pays dividends down the road. It is time to honor and embrace the significant role you play in the life of a child, whether it is your own or that of a parent, a neighbor, a relative, a client, or a friend. Don't underestimate the importance of your unconditional love and guidance, because even a small gesture can have a massive impact on a child's life. In order to improve your current situation, you're being asked to adjust to and harmonize with the natural rhythm and cycles of life. Cycles that are encouraging you to spend more quality time with children. Go out of your way to brighten a child's day. Give your attention freely and know that a little goes a long way. By investing in the younger generation, you invest in the future of humankind. I love and nurture children and make the world a brighter place. Okay, Ashe. Now you said you're a friend and you don't have children together. Your husband and you, rather, don't have children together. So, this could be, but you do have a child, so this could be saying to you, what message are you showing your son? Even if he is away at college and he comes home and he sees that this is how you're living. What are you telling him? What's the message that you're sending? Do you put on a false face in front of your son? Does he not know what's happening with his mom? It could be. Yes. So when your son's around, you put on a different face, and your child doesn't know what's happening. When he comes home from vacations and stuff, that's how you do. You deceive your son; he doesn't know what's happening. That's the parental example that you're giving. I know people, and I know that's what y'all do. That's what cancers do, right? They deceive even their children, even their family. And then we pass those parenting skills on to the next generation. Nice. So you do what you got to do to make it look okay while your kid's home. Spiritual partnership was the next card. 27, again, 9. Parenting, again, 9. 27. Okay. This card indicates a time when a significant spiritual relationship is about to be started. Perhaps it becomes in the form of a friendship between like-minded souls in a similar journey towards enlightenment. Or maybe it's a master-disciple relationship where an important individual enters your life. The saying goes, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Ashe, that's true. I just said that last night to someone. And when yours arrives, he or she will assist you in expanding your spiritual growth. During the course of this relationship, you will play the role of both teacher and student, and the wisdom gained from this experience will enhance your connection to Source. Perhaps a spiritually minded person will broaden your understanding of the divine. Maybe you become a catalyst in another spiritual journey and help that individual on his or her path. Regardless of the form of this spiritual relationship takes, it will serve your greater good. In order to improve your current situation, you're being asked to adjust to and harmonize with the natural rhythms and cycles of your life, cycles that are leading you towards a significant spiritual relationship. So pay attention to the speakers, teachers, and authors whose teachings you respect. Be on the lookout for people with a similar journey to your own. Embrace the opportunity to enhance your spiritual growth. The affirmation that goes along with this: through a sacred spiritual relationship, I deepen my connection to Source. Let me see if I gave you the affirmation for 63. Parenting, right? 63. Let's see. I love and nurture children and make the world a brighter place. And again, Through a sacred spiritual relationship, I deepen my connection to Source. Okay, darling. I think that what the Spirit's trying to tell you is that you have to listen to your intuition. You have to listen to the messages that you're getting from Spirit guides, okay? You need to get yourself away from this situation, darling. I'm going to see what the Vanzant card has to tell us about this. There are times when I allow fear to stand between me and those I love. Until today, you may have not been aware of why you withheld your love. Just for today, do what is loving. Stand in truth. When you feel afraid, acknowledge and admit it, and love yourself through it. Okay? So, you need to be truthful with yourself and with your loved ones, okay? Stand up. Say that you're afraid. Say that you're scared. Say that you're afraid of lack, that you're going to, that you're going to maybe be afraid that your finances may be different and that your standard of life may change. And this is something that you don't want to do. But you have to admit that to yourself, babe, in order for you to be able to move forward in this situation. Okay, let me see if I can get an answer from the conscious spirit cards for you. Okay. Card that came out was the Healer. I'm loving and compassionate and able to bring healing to others. All right, but this was in the reverse. That means that there's something. This situation is standing between you and healing. This fell between healing family issues and letting your friends help you in reverse. You got to listen to the ancestors. You have to listen to your spirit guide. You have to listen to the advice that you're being given, darling. You need to clear yourself of this energy. You need to get yourself away from this situation. Call on whoever you need to call on to get you the help that you need if you need help. And if you don't need financial or social help or anything like that, and this is just a matter of you being stubborn, please, for your own sake, your own life's sake, for your own life's sake, let this go. Let this go. If it's meant for this to return, it'll happen. If it's meant for you to get back in a relationship with this person, it'll happen eventually. And if it doesn't happen in this lifetime, it'll happen in the next lifetime. Alright? But you have to learn to love yourself first. Okay? Love yourself first. Okay? And you have to be careful of the messages that you're giving to your children and the young people around you who may be watching this situation. You'd be surprised who's watching. Okay? Let's see what the Doreen Virtue has. These life purpose oracle cards, and I was just led to grab these for you. Anyway, I hope this video finds you well. Okay, and I just want you to get into a better place. I just want you to be in a better place and understand that this is not your problem, this is his problem. Just because you're married to him does not mean that you have to own this too. But I will tell you, you're responsible for his debts and everything else as long as you remain married to him. So again, if this is about worrying about your money, you need to really worry about your money. Because if this person does something and it causes you to have to be sued, whatever little you have, you'll lose that. And if you got big, you'll lose that too. Whether you're spending it on attorneys or you're paying it to the victim's family. I'm just saying. Teaching. You inspire young people to learn. Next card that came out here was travel. Your life purpose involves traveling. I told you you need to go. I told you you need to be gone. You need to be gone. You need to leave this situation. Now I know that that's not what that's about, because this is about jobs and your life purposes. But that word and those cards came out for me to tell you you need to get going. I'll look it up, but I'm just saying you need to get going. Teaching. You have a gift with children because it's part of your life. That's what you got also. It's part of your life's purpose to help and support them. Young people respond to your genuine nature, and they recognize your inner child, which helps them to relate to you and understand them. Which helps you relate to and understand them. More than ever before, children need trustworthy and loving adults to act as shepherds and teachers, and you're being drawn to this work. Okay. Most likely, your teaching or healing work with children will encompass some aspect of spirituality. For instance, you may incorporate music or personal growth lessons into a traditional classroom. Or you may teach important life skills in other ways, for example, as your role as a sports coach, music instructor, babysitter, or art therapist. Or through charity work or running a youth center. In these ways, you help children keep their spiritual gifts alive and awaken new interests. If you ask the angels to guide you in the best avenues that allow you to reach out and teach young people, they will happily help with this very important life purpose. Ashe. That's good stuff. Okay, that one might be for me. I wanted to be a teacher. That's what I went to college for. So that could be for me. I'll give you that one. Yeah, because you know what? This is New Year's Eve. This messages are for me and you and everybody else, right? Travel. Your life purpose involves traveling. But this is for you, darling. You need to get going. Even if it is for me, too. It's still telling you you need to get going. You drew this card as validation of what you already knew. That your life's work involves traveling. You may be called to be of service in faraway places, or it could be that a life-changing travel experience will give you breakthrough information about your divine purpose. Okay. Like a traveling minstrel, you bring blessings wherever you go. This card also speaks to movement in your life, with adventurous and life-enhancing changes occurring for you now and in the immediate future. By going to the old and stepping into these changes, by letting go of the old and stepping into these changes, you gain the sense of meaning fulfillment that you desired. A former stagnation is replaced with a passion for new progress and new relationships. The third meaning of this card is that your life purpose involves technology, especially with respect to computers and telecommunication. This could be a signal. This could signal telecommuting, where you work from home via computer, or could literally mean that your work involves computer programming, sales, and such. Okay, whatever. Okay, all right. Both of these cards may have been for me. It still doesn't. It's still saying you need travel. You need to get out of this. I'm sticking to that. All right. So you asked for my opinion. You asked for my reading. You asked for my ego to get involved, and that's what they said. And I'm telling you. And these may very well. Maybe this is why they had me bring this down, because I don't use it that often. So maybe it wanted me to know something about myself for the coming year. And that's okay. And that's beautiful. If that's the truth, then it is the truth, because that's what it is. But again, they may be talking to somebody else out there who needed to know that message also. So I'll take that. I'll take that. And so therefore, I think I'll give you one more of the Conscious Spirit Oracle, and then I'll give you a postcard from Spirit, and then we'll be done for tonight. Because it's New Year's Eve for me too. And I want to watch this Dave Chappelle special. And my son says it's already up, and he's gone, and I will be here by myself. And I think I can make something happen for myself this evening up in here. First of all, the number on this card is 36. 6 and 3 is 9. Abundance. I'm grateful for abundance. I'm grateful for the abundance nature and the universe provide in my life. Look at that. So this was upside down, but it came out just now for you. So, your concerns about money and everything could be stemming from the fact that you haven't been showing appreciation for what you already have. So you might want to work on that also. So you need to be grateful for the messages and pay attention, and you need to start being grateful for what you have. Because if not, you're going to lose what you've already acquired. As I said, setting up some kind of a sacred space in your home. Meditating, praying. Burn a white candle in your home for clarity. Set up an ancestral altar. If you're interested in that, I've made videos concerning that. There are all kinds of videos on the YouTube. They'll tell you how to do that. If you can't do nothing else, get a glass of water, a glass of clear water. It can be as small as a shot glass. And set up next to a white candle. It could be a fragrance candle. It could be a small candle like this. It could be a 7-day candle. It could be whatever candle. Like this, even this size. Any of those. Draw the Star of David on top of it and put your initials around it in 4 places, north, south, east, west. And you burn that white candle. And you talk to your ancestors and you tell them that you need them to intervene, and you're inviting them into your situation, into your home, into your life, to give you what it is they want you to have. This blessing, the abundance, the peace, tranquility, the maturity, the faith, to accept what it is that they're sending your way. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer. These cards are by Colette Baron Reid, and they are postcards from the spirit. The message: you are magic. You are magic. There are times when a loss is a part of life. Sometimes loss is welcome, like when you leave a situation not in alignment with your highest good. Sometimes a loss is sudden and painful, like when a loved one crosses over to our dimension. Regardless of the nature of the loss and your control over it, your experience is asking to be acknowledged. Tears are necessary, as is grief. When you repress the natural expression of loss and try to move on too quickly, the unprocessed pain haunts you in a destructive way. We don't want that for you. Instead, let your heart break open wide. Feel the loss and integrate it. See the beauty that was, the lessons learned, and know that as you let go of what has passed, even more of you remains. It gets better, we promise. Your heart expands with more compassion for the world than ever before. Love heals all. We are loving you and sending you love always and forever. Wow. Wow. I say, I'll pull that up right here. Maybe you'll be able to screenshot it later if you need to. We are loving you, sending you love always and forever, dearest you. Beautiful. You are. You are magic. I'll show you. Thank you. So, darling, I hope that this helps. Really hope that this helps. Okay, and I'm going to try to get it up now. This is almost 2 hours long. But anyway, if it's not helpful only to you, it'll be helpful to other people out there. I want to thank you and everyone who's watching. So much for your love and for your wonderful comments. The feedback has been outstanding. Virgos, oh my God, and Libras, oh my God. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And as usual, my Sagittariuses and my Scorpios and Cancers and Virgos. And Virgo is amazing. I thank you so much. I thank you for sharing these videos with your friends and your family members and everybody. Everything has just changed significantly over the last week. It's amazing. I'm in awe. Follow your own unique path with courage and strength. All right, darling. So, again, thank you for the opportunity, everyone. And thank you for listening. Thank you for allowing me to work on my spiritual growth while you work on yours, right? We do this together. Happy New Year, everyone. Okay, so go and think about 2 things that you learned about yourself this past year. Or 2 new things that you learned this past year. 2 things that you're grateful for. Okay, so 2 things you're grateful for. 2 things you learned about yourself. 2 new things. 2 new things that you learned about yourself last year. And 2 things that you like about yourself. 2 new things you like about yourself. 2 new things that you learned about yourself. And 2 new things that you're grateful for this past year. Okay? Put them in your comments. Post them on your Facebook page. You know? Make that your banner in the morning. Or sometime tomorrow or during the next week when you get a chance, okay? If you go on your Facebook page. If not, like I said, leave it in your comments. Two's very important in my life also. 7s are, and 2s. I get a lot of synchronicity with the number 2. I have throughout my life. And twins repeat themselves in my family line in different places, and mostly fraternal twins. And sometimes they survive on one side, and other times only one survives on the other side. And my daughter has twins, and they turn 12 today because they're born on the 31st of December. Okay, so how cool is that? So every New Year's, my babies, who are fraternal twins, a boy and a girl, they celebrate their birthday on New Year's Eve. Isn't that wonderful? And I told you guys I had 2 goddaughters who were fraternal twins. I had dogs, Missy and Oreo, who were fraternal twins. They were both girls, but they look totally different, and their personalities are totally different. Okay? And there's a 7 involved in that story too. And my daughter's father and I were born on the same day, 2 years apart. Same date, 2 years apart. The daughter that has the twins, the boy and the girl. My grandparents were born 2 days apart. Number 2 comes up a lot for me, to the point where it's ridiculous, for real. That story I told you earlier, the story about my ex. Ooh, we just got this pain right here. Huh. Ooh, the story about my ex. The young lady that he killed was a twin. There's certain experiences that I have in my life for certain reasons, and that's part of the gift that the divine has given me, even if I didn't understand it at the time. There was a lesson to be learned for myself and for others, so I felt I needed to share that with you, and I did. And I guess that's for you to know that what I'm saying to you is real about your husband or you ended up behind bars in this situation. Get yourself away from this person, please. Okay? So anyway, darling, have a happy new year. Have a great evening. Get some rest, okay? Because you certainly woke me up out of my sleep, and I thank you for that, because I would have slept till tomorrow. I would have slept till tomorrow, because that's how fatigued I am, and that's how tired I am, and that's how sad I was today. So, I love you. Thank you for the opportunity, and I'll be speaking to you soon, and I'm going to try to get this uploaded as soon as possible. Okay? So, Ashe, Alafia, Amen, always and forever. Bye.